Well, rising family, reminded to self is here again. I'm your host, Ahmad Brown, aka Son of Pharaoh. How are you today? Good? Terrific. Well, today we're talking about Kundalini. Today's lesson is just a really quick crash course, but it's an introduction to something that's very vital. The Kundalini force energy is essentially another name for our divine spark. It is the core or the centerpiece or the beginning building block for our own personal existence as we live in a human body. The Kundalini spark essentially is no more than an extension of the human sperm. When you, as a person, are in your most infantile state as an energetic being on this plane, your Kundalini energy is right there in the base of your actual DNA. And it is this building block of DNA that begins the multiplication of cells that expands into a full-blown human being. So our Kundalini energy is essentially the most vital energy that we have for our intellectual capabilities, for our spiritual aptitude, for our personal emotional controls, and essentially the whole entire nervous system. So this particular Kundalini energy, though, is more than just a energetic backdrop or an energetic building block. It is actually the spiritual aspect of yourself that is the key or the gateway or the energetic pass-through that is the entryway to the other side of your consciousness. Now, again, our consciousness has two sides to it. There's the conscious side, the awakening side, which is the one that we're generally using right now as you're watching me on this video. But there also is the unconscious side, or the subconscious mind, which is the unseen part of yourself that operates on a lot of the automatic things that your body does. Is like as you eat something and your body processes it naturally, you don't have to make any conscious thoughts on food actually passing through your body. Your subconscious mind is essentially the part of you that handles that. And this part of your mind is essentially automatic. Just like how the sun rises every day automatic, your subconscious mind works automatic as well. So the thing though here, when dealing with Kundalini energy, when we deal with Kundalini energy, we actually make a conscious effort to tap into our subconscious mind. And we attempt to meld or merge these two things with Kundalini activities. Reason being, Kundalini, again, represents the same dual aspect of ourself. Just as we have two brain hemispheres, we have two thought processes, we have a conscious and unconscious mind, we have a seen and unseen aspect of ourself, so on and so forth. The Kundalini energy operates just like that. If you were to think of a yin and yang, for example, the yin and yang symbol has, the black and white, merged together in a type of symbiotic flow that's inside of a sphere. That symbol essentially is no more than another interpretation of the Kundalini energy. The Kundalini energy that we all have is literally sits at the base of the spine. It sits in the coccyx. And this particular energy sits at the base of the spine, sits at the coccyx, because again, that's where our regenerative principles are, our regenerative agents. And it's from this base of the spine or base of the coccyx that this particular energy can rise. And as this energy rises, it goes from the part of our body that holds all of the energetic faculties, and they allow it to raise up, and so essentially the energy that is stored at the base of your spine, essentially automatically transmitted throughout all of your central nervous system, you can raise it up consciously. And when you consciously raise it up, you begin to activate different faculties of yourself. And so these different faculties can be raised up or awakened or used now because the Kundalini energy is being consciously learned about, consciously built up, consciously used. And again, it goes back to this dualism because there's two snakes. This is how the energy is symbolized. And again, this energy is no more than a symbol for the hemispheres, the dual hemispheres of the brain. There's a black snake and there's a white snake. Those two snakes intertwine literally around your spinal cord. And it goes up and down your spinal fluid. And so the coccyx of the spine energy, the base of your energetic form, your energetic internal processes, sits at the base of the spine and can rise up through your spinal cord, passing through all of your major energetic centers. Your energetic centers are your endocrine glands. Those are the centers that emit all of your emotions. Those are the centers that balance all of your awarenesses out. So as the Kundalini energy, or your spirit force energy, literally rises up your spine and passes through your different glands, the essentially the state of being that your glands are in, meaning if they're damaged, if they're blocked, if they're clogged, if they're dirty, as the energy rises and it interacts with these glands, whatever state of being the glands are in, that is what will be reverberated back to you. And so with dealing with Kundalini energy, it's crucially important that we cleanse ourselves. This all ties into a lot of these whole mystical mystical attributes and mystical stories, and religious, practices that we have, always talking about the cleansing of oneself, the cleansing of the mind, the cleansing of the body. They always externalize it about morality. That's one thing or another. But internally, when dealing with Kundalini energy, when you rise it, you should clean your energetic centers. And it's a basic principle, because who wants to pass through something dirty? Who wants to put on a dirty shirt? No, you put on a what? A clean one. And you put on a clean one because it's best for use. It feels better. It smells better. It operates better. So you, in your human flesh, you can, quote unquote, clean your human flesh from the internal aspect of your body by raising up your Kundalini energy. And so as you raise up your Kundalini energy and allow it to pass through your energetic centers, you gain what is called conscious control. That's the whole conscious thing. Oh, you conscious and da-da-da-da-da. People, again, say that whole conscious thing is about like social critiques and, Black Lives Matter and Hotep this and blah, blah, blah. Conscious is actually talking about having the full tangible awareness of your energetic faculties. Talking about you have awareness of what is going on with you energetically. And also using those energetics to maneuver, manipulate, manifest, make your life better. That's what this whole conscious thing is about. So again, with the whole Kundalini energy, when you raise it, you gain conscious or more intimate awareness of what your energetic levels are. And when you gain awareness of that, or regain awareness of that, you can then address all of your mental, emotional, financial, sexual, the whole life gambit of issues directly. Directly where you're clogged up in your body. Directly what emotional state you need to address and alleviate. Essentially how to properly get the help that you need, because you are fully helping yourself. And so this Kundalini energy, though, essentially, again, it's supposed to rise through all of our through our major glands. The 7 major glands are the 7 major chakras, and essentially it is supposed to rise and reach our crown. Reach the pituitary gland. So once it reaches those particular glands, that's when we have an awakening, a full-blown awakening. That's what the whole legends of like the Christ, the Buddha, all of the patron saints, all of the mythologies of these great, wonderful people, that existed and did great, wonderful things that seem to be outside of the paradigm of human ability. Those things are a direct response or directly related to the Kundalini rising. Now, many of these people that we believe in mythology, whether they did or did not exist, if they did, they most likely were able to do such great feats because of their attachment and awareness to their own Kundalini energy. And so we can essentially create ourselves our own personal legend in our own right. We can, again, unlock levels of personal energy that we never thought we had. We can unveil levels of consciousness and expanded ways of thinking and seeing if we go through the process of tangibly engaging our Kundalini energy. And how can we do those things? Well, we can do those things through balancing our emotions, through engaging certain events of our past that have emotional blockages or emotional hang-ups. We can practice sexual freedom, meaning whatever myths that we have been taught about what sex is or is not, or how a person should operate based on the confines of a culture or a religion that they are in. You could free yourself by essentially actively engaging all of the things that they tell you not to, in a safe way, of course. What else can you do? You can do mudra exercises, where you literally sit in certain patterns and fold your hands and chant certain things to where the energy will be more consciously awakened. Of course, just basic meditation. African drumming dances. The beat of the drum essentially matches the heartbeat or the vibrations of the earth. And so anything that is good for getting those feet closer closely attached to the earth can help in connecting your energy and awakening it. And there's a whole host of other things that we could actually do to awaken this particular energy. But again, energy is so vital for us to use because it is what has been given to us. And most of us simply just don't use it, or we use it in passing when we get in the zone, or when we are so locked in and laser focused to where we don't realize that those fleeting moments of focus, or those fleeting moments of intensity, or those fleeting moments of high energy can be cultivated, can be built up, and can be harnessed to where we can integrate it into our actual daily life. So that's a crash course in Kundalini. And so if you want to know more, do not hesitate to contact me. And I can put you on a course ASAP so we can get you activated and you can begin the process of tangibly understanding your physical, spiritual self. This is your reminder to self. I am Ahmad Brown, aka Son of Pharaoh. Love you. Peace and blessings.